Alright guys, we are on to the next step of this. I flipped it over last night, so after it was all pressed together, because I didn't really want to glue it to my desk, it still kind of got stuck to the desk, not much. I was worried about ruining the finish, but I think we're good. There's just some tacky glue I gotta pull off. Not too much though, so we're good. This is not my old desk. I literally just bought this desk last summer, because my desk was covered in glue and paint. And so I was hoping not to ruin it too much. So anyway, we're gonna flip it over now. I'm going to unstick this. Yes, it's gonna rip part of the cardboard. Totally okay. Okay, it's not much stuck. Now this is the part that we have to absolutely, positively make sure gets sealed, okay? So I'm gonna come through and I'm going to cut this fabric about here. I just want enough to overlap. I'm not covering the whole back of the cardboard. There's a reason that we're going to do that, and I'll show you in a minute. I also went out today because I decided I didn't want to risk paper cuts, and I picked up some art sponges. I actually prefer these little brushes. You need a disposable item if you're doing this, okay? Because these are going to get ruined. And so I just went with the cheapest sponges I could get, because the brushes I usually use were like $6, and I mean, I'm not going to use them again for a while because this is a long project, and so I don't often make these. I may make one to go on our website. Go up here, because I have some Beauty and the Beast fabric, this fabric that I might use. I have a whole yard of it, and it takes about a yard. And so I might use this fabric to make one. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, because like I said, long process. So what we're going to do on this step is we have to tack this down, all right? So I'm going to take this tacky glue, and I'm going to open it this time. Come on, glue. Come on, glue. I know. Because we want a lot of glue. Okay, we want this glue to soak through this fabric. We want this fabric to be wet with glue. Okay, I'm gonna put a little dot here, a little dot here. Now I'm gonna pick it up. The first thing I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna fold in this edge. And I'm going to use my fingers on this, and your fingers are going to be gross, okay? I'm telling you now, they're going to get gross. But trust me, it's for the best. I take this extra glue that came out, and I am going to spread it all over this fabric, okay? All over. We want this fabric soaked. We want it so wet that it cannot move. This is what's going to harden it and make sure that your cover stays a cover and doesn't fall apart, okay? There's no such thing as too much glue here, just so you know. No such thing. You can use it everywhere. I'm taking some extra from here to make sure this is down. I'm going to do the same with the top. All right, going to do the same with the top. Push it down. Make sure that this is all pushed. This is going to need more glue. All right, I will handle that in a second. Now I'm going to take this glue again, and we're going to put it on top of this. On top of this fabric. Yeah, I told you, lots of glue on this step. This is very important. This is why we didn't put as much on the front, even though, you know, you still put a lot on the front. It's because this step takes a ton. This is the step that actually holds your fabric together. Okay, I'm going to put that on my hand and just use it here for a minute. And then we're going to fold over the other fabric into it, all right? Get it down there. Press it down. And now we're gonna continue to soak. Just continue to completely soak this outlined fabric in glue. Come on, glue. The longest part and hardest part of this is literally getting the glue out of the bottle. And this is going to use the rest of this bottle. That's why I got a second one. You either need a big one of tacky glue or 2 littles, just so you know. It takes a lot. And I do, like I said last night, really recommend the clear glue. I'm going to go back over here because I know I didn't get enough on that part. Didn't realize it would go down that far. Put it here. Put it on top. This takes the longest to dry. And I might have to go over this with a dryer, like a hair dryer, because of the fact that I'm on a time crunch. And like I said, this is a 3-day project. So, lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Get that glue on there. Get it soaked, get it in every crevice. Again, use your fingers to press it down. I know, it can be gross. If it's not messy, is it really worth it though? Because, I mean, come on. Part of the fun of being creative is being able to be as messy as you want. I am going to fold this edge down. You don't have to worry about how this is going to look like your folds, all right? That will be handled when we take care of the paper. What we need to worry about is getting this glued down. Making sure it's so soaked that it's not coming up. So don't worry about creases. Just make sure it's tight around the edge, okay? Because we're gonna cover up the creases. You won't be able to see any of these creases. I'll fold this up because I don't want it hanging over. I want the cover, the front cover, to look nice and crisp. The back cover can be messy. Nicely. Your hands are going to get really sticky, and I know it gets, as they get stickier, it gets harder to manipulate the stuff, but you can do it. Trust me. And it's worth it in the end. It is worth it in the end. Nice. If you get it on the back, it doesn't matter. It's going to dry, all right? Get it on this cardboard. Does not matter. It dries clear. You just want to make sure this is completely soaked. Completely soaked. I think this edge here could use a little more. It doesn't feel as wet as everything else. So I am going to grab this bottle and I'm going to go over this edge a little bit. Come on. I know there's a little bit more left in you. And then we're going to throw you away because you're covered in gunk. Come on. Come on. I see it in there. Let it out. Let out all the glue. Bring out your inner craft goblin, guys. Yeah, there we go. Look at that glue. Look at it. And I'm just going to use the rest of this glue and keep going until there's no more glue coming out, which could take a while. But it probably won't because there's really not much left in here. I just got to make sure I get it out. There we go. Big chunk of glue there. This is going to take forever to dry, I promise you. I highly recommend a hairdryer if you have one, okay? Or a heat gun. Whatever works. I'm going to let it dry naturally for a little bit and then I'm going to come back through with a hairdryer. Okay? Just because I have to rush the process. If I didn't have to rush the process, I would let it dry naturally the whole time. All right, But like I said, this takes like 24 hours to dry because of how soaked we are getting this. But this ain't coming up, guys. Trust me. And that's what we want. Okay, hands are sticky. I'm gonna go wash them. And that is part 2 on how to make your own journal sketchbook. I will be back later with part 3 as we bind the paper, okay?